To sport now on Nightline. And Port Adelaide and Brisbane have had their final training sessions at home before heading to Melbourne for Saturday's grand final. It was all systems go at Port, but Jonathan Brown was a no-show for the Lions.
A big crowd for Brisbane's final run at home. Support that will largely be left behind in chasing a record-equalling fourth title in Melbourne. There's no end to the inspiration in what could be the last hurrah for a few, including 36-year-old Alistair Lynch.
You go into this game as if it is your last, and you certainly, most probably will be your last opportunity to play in a premiership. You just throw everything at it and just leave nothing in the room.
Craig McRae was put through his paces away from the group, and Jonathan Brown was kept indoors for continued work on his knee. Lynch left to talk up their chances of playing.
Brownie, he'll definitely be playing, and you wouldn't expect any less from Brownie.
Already the Port Adelaide Army is on the move, milking the most out of their first grand final. Port Adelaide trained in their heartland. Glad to be on their way.
I think our club's really deserved it. They've worked really hard over the last 3 or 4 years to establish ourselves as a grand finalist, and it's wonderful reward for us.
Unlike Brisbane, few power changes are expected. Past problems replaced with a new demeanour.
The weight and the expectation that was on their shoulders over the last couple of weeks, and to have that lifted, you'll see a completely different side this week.
With no team to look forward to in the AFL decider, Melbourne has been remembering September's gone, when only Victorian teams played for the prize, and the grand final rough stuff that went with it. One of the most memorable, Mark Yates hit on Dermot Brereton back in '89.
Just made one mistake, Yates. He didn't finish him off.
Yeah, that's it.
At Hawthorn, Donald McDonald has taken up an assistant coaching role with the Roos. Lance Paccioni and Adrian Cox have been put up as trade bait, while Mark Graham is among 3 delistings. A bonus for Melbourne, getting $1.5 million it asked from the AFL under the Competitive Balance Fund. Leith Mulligan for Nightline.
In rugby league, Bulldogs coach Steve Folkes says he is confident Braith and Astor will play in Saturday's grand final qualifier. The Bulldogs are strong favourites to beat Penrith with or without their star 5/8.
There are no secrets at the Bulldogs. Entire training sessions are open to whoever wants to watch. And today a horde of fans found their way to Belmore.
Bulldogs is, we've got a lot of fans up there, and it's good to see them all down here today.
The quietly spoken Williams roars on the field. His shoulder charges against the Storm last week are another dimension of his expanding game.
Got to make my tackles count.
That's a priority for young centre Ben Harris, and he knows when he's hurt someone with his defence.
Oh, when they don't get up, and happens every now and then, but that's the way the game is.
The Bulldogs are strong favourites to knock Penrith out of the grand final qualifier. And today, the two coaches came face-to-face to talk about the game. Steve Folkes hinted the injured Braith and Astor was now a good chance of playing. His Panther counterpart says they'll take what comes.
You find out, or you normally find out who's playing an hour before the game. Sometimes in the finals you don't, I suppose.
In Townsville, Glenn Morrison is set to continue his amazing recovery. After fracturing his back in round 13, the fears were clear.
There is not a worse sight in rugby league.
To walk again meant everything. To play again this year has been a complete shock.
To watch the boys win the last 3 months while I was on the sideline was sort of the motivation I needed, and to be playing, as I say, one game off a grand final, you wouldn't read about it.
If the Cowboys upset the Roosters on Sunday, we'll be reading about it a lot more. Clinton Fletcher for Nightline.
Australia's cricketers are philosophical about missing out on the final of the Champions Trophy after England defeated them at one-day cricket for the first time in 5 years. In response to an Australian total of 259, Michael Vaughan and Marcus Trescothick led a rejuvenated England to a 6-wicket win.
Backs to the wall for so long against Australia, England captain Michael Vaughan closed ranks, openers Adam Gilchrist and Matthew Hayden. Soon on a march towards stretching England's losing streak dating back to January 1999. But Hayden fell for 17, Gilchrist 37. Damien Martin, the only Australian to go past 50, controlled aggression crucial to his 65. Michael Clarke's closing overs cameo produced 42 at the expense of bruising Brett Lee.
And Brett Lee has nowhere to go.
Nowhere to hide for Australia's fast bowlers from Marcus Trescothick, plundering 16 off one Glenn McGrath over. A partnership of 140 with Vaughan proved a match winner.
That's beautifully played.
Both denied centuries, no denying England surpassing Australia's 259, snapping a 14-match winning streak.
It's always going to come to an end at some stage. We were hoping that it wasn't today, but yeah, full credit to England. Can't take anything away from them.
England plays Pakistan or the West Indies in Saturday's final. Andrew McKinlay for Nightline.
Another gold medal for Australia on the fourth day of the Paralympics, but this one not without pain. Visually impaired cyclist Kieran Modra and his sighted pilot David Short crashed during the semi-finals of the men's sprint, but still qualified for the final. The pair recovered from their battering to win Modra's second gold of the Games.
Just running on just sheer guts and determination.
Australia is in 8th place on the medal tally with 29 medals, including 8 gold.